Recently, mainland China economist Lu Qiyuan claimed that China's economic sluggishness is due to a decline in the capital accumulation rate. Why has this rate declined? The primary factor is capital fleeing. How much has fled? Lu Qiyuan stated, "I dare to say it's no less than $3 trillion. What does $3 trillion mean? It means 21 trillion renminbi. You might not understand what 21 trillion is. It's equivalent to China's annual fiscal revenue being taken away. The so-called capital fleeing includes both the wealth and the illicit gains of corrupt officials fleeing the country." Although Lu Qiyuan did not provide specific sources for his figures, the fact of capital fleeing from China is undeniable. The phenomenon of wealthy individuals and corrupt officials fleeing with their assets has long been a bizarre spectacle in China. According to Henley & Partners' 2023 Global Wealth Migration Report, released in the second half of 2023, over 10,000 Chinese millionaires emigrated overseas in 2022, making China the top country for wealthy immigrants. The report focuses on millionaires with over $1 million in assets who spend more than half their time outside of China, excluding those who simply acquire residency without moving. Data from the report indicates that in 2023, China again led in the number of high-net-worth individuals emigrating, with an estimated 13,500 wealthy people moving abroad, taking billions of dollars with them. Incomplete statistics show that over 60% of wealthy Chinese plan to immigrate, and 71% of those with assets over 100 million renminbi express intentions to move abroad. Over the past decades, capital fleeing from China has been an open secret. In 2020, rumors spread online that 100 Chinese individuals held 7.8 trillion renminbi in Swiss bank accounts in 2018. During the three-year pandemic, mainland Chinese rushed to immigrate, transferring hundreds of billions of dollars abroad annually. In 2023, an average of $50 billion flowed out of China each month. During the Shanghai lockdown in April-May 2022, searches for immigration on platforms like WeChat and Baidu surged. For example, in 1 week of April 2022, searches for requirements for immigrating to Canada increased by 2,846% following the announcement of strictly adhering to zero-COVID policies on April 3rd. A New York Times article in November 2023 titled "Gold Bars, Foreign Currency, Tokyo Apartments: How Chinese Capital is Flowing Out" noted that Chinese buyers have become the primary purchasers of Tokyo apartments priced over $3 million, often buying with cash. Hong Kong insurance has long been a channel for mainland Chinese to purchase overseas assets, with new policy business from mainland visitors in the first quarter of 2023 soaring nearly 27 times to an astounding 96 trillion Hong Kong dollars. The Epoch Times reported that Chinese individuals use various methods to transfer funds abroad, such as smuggling gold bars and cash on speedboats from southern provinces to Southeast Asia, or using companies at home and abroad to conduct fake trade transactions. In August 2023, capital outflow from China reached $49 billion, the largest in 8 years. The CCP has tried various methods to plug capital outflow loopholes, but with limited success. Xi Jinping's zero-COVID policy and common prosperity campaign have scared many wealthy individuals. A common saying in the CCP circles is, "All officials have green cards, half the country keeps mistresses," reflecting the reality of corrupt officials. Corrupt officials and state enterprise criminals fleeing abroad began in the late 1980s. In 1991, the term "planned escape with funds" was formally used in a report by the Supreme Procuratorate. In June 2008, a report by the central bank cited a study by the Chinese Academy of Social Sciences, revealing that since the mid-1990s, 16,000 to 18,000 officials had fled abroad, taking 800 billion renminbi with them. The report also stated that from 1995 to 2005, the number of naked officials, whose families were abroad while they remained in China, reached 1.18 million. A May 2005 report by Legal Evening News disclosed that 4,000 corrupt officials had taken $50 billion abroad, often through offshore financial centers. Premier Wen Jiabao and Vice Premier Huang Zhu commented on a Ministry of Commerce report indicating that offshore financial centers served as transit stations for China's capital fleeing. Dr. Mei Xinyu, the report's lead researcher, found that capital fleeing from 1985 to 2005 accounted for over 50% of China's foreign debt growth. Reports indicate that the US, Canada, and Australia have become havens for corrupt CCP officials, forming corrupt official streets and corrupt officials villages. The Wall Street Journal reported that from April 2011 to June 2012, Toronto and Vancouver airports seized $13 million in undeclared cash from Chinese travelers. There have been long-standing discrepancies between China's trade surplus and foreign reserves growth. In 2023, online discussions questioned, where did the $2 trillion trade surplus over the past 3 years go if foreign reserves stayed almost the same? Current foreign reserves are over $3 trillion, but this is $1 trillion less than 10 years ago, despite large trade surpluses each year. Where did the hard-earned foreign exchange go? No one knows how many corrupt officials of the CCP have fled abroad and how much corrupt funds have been transferred abroad, but the amount of funds that have fled abroad is undoubtedly an astronomical figure. The CCP's anti-corruption campaign of guarding the cesspool and hitting flies is more and more corrupt, and corruption continues. According to incomplete statistics, 19 corrupt officials with hundreds of millions of yuan were put to trial publicly by the CCP in 2023. Can these funds that have fled abroad be recovered? The China court network itself once admitted that very little of the large amounts of funds taken away by corrupt officials who fled abroad in China have been recovered. CCP corruption scandals have been exposed internationally. The 2016 Panama Papers leak revealed evidence of several CCP red families using offshore companies to hide vast sums. It's rumored that Jiang Zemin's family has $500 billion overseas, managed by his grandson Jiang Zhiqing. On April 10th, Bill Gertz, a senior media figure with close ties to the U.S. military, wrote in the Washington Times that U.S. intelligence is investigating the wealth and corruption of the CCP's top leaders. This non-classified report targets Xi Jinping and other senior officials, including the 205 Central Committee members, 25 Politburo members, and Politburo Standing Committee members, as well as 29 provincial party secretaries. This could be explosive, meaning the U.S. is striking at the heart of the CCP. Such an investigation could undermine the CCP's credibility, leading to chaos and potential collapse. The claim of a $3 trillion capital fled, representing 21 trillion renminbi, may indeed be plausible, accounting for roughly 1/6 of China's annual GDP and less than the annual increase in broad money supply. That concludes today's program. Thank you for watching.